Okay, so it's going to take you about a week to get to Fatalia, and we're on the road, traveling along. We're going to have a couple of scenes with you guys interacting and stuff.
Mm.
So the first place we're going to come to is Hikerton. Well, let's start on the road to Hikerton. How are you guys traveling? How are we moving along? Are you walking? Are you guys discussing anything?
I think we're walking because of the alligator.
Right.
Maybe if somebody give us a ride on a wagon or something going south, but I don't think they will because of the alligator.
um,
It's fine. Louis can walk. Louis, he a big old gator, and he don't get tired easy. Cause he's tireless.
okay. Do you want to try and get a ride from somebody?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I have to ask. Actually, I don't care if the alligator eats somebody. I'm that kind of guy.
Same.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Some more stories to tell my children. Yeah, yeah. I stopped like somebody.
Okay.
I, I wave my hammer. I have a new hammer called
Okay.
Twin Father.
Yeah. So there's a caravan. There's a trade caravan headed south, and you want to try and hitch a ride with them. Um. So there's an old fella leading the caravan raid caravan raid leading their
No,
battle.
no, just not now. Later, later.
Leading the caravan, and you wave him down with your hammer, and it looks like they're just getting prepared, right? They're just getting the wagons in order to head that way. But he notices you, right? And he like waves back, and he says, "What can I help you with?"
Good evening. Oh, good morning, maybe. Basically, we are a bunch of travelers. Would you mind giving us a ride? We have a few extra muscle in case you are afraid of perhaps a caravan raid.
He says,
Honestly,
Muscle? What?
yes. Look at us.
Okay, so you like gesture at your two mercenary dudes with magic clubs, Chuck and his 15-foot alligator. Okay, yeah, that's
And the no does that. We don't look suspicious.
that's pretty good leverage. Now here's a question I want to ask before we go any further, because Chuck, you can roll to aid here.
Yeah.
Do you want to write a
Oh,
bond with Gorrlin?
Yeah. Can we do bonds and goals?
Yeah,
I was gonna ask about that.
let's do a bond real quick. We'll do goals in a second.
Um, Hold on. I kind of want to use a full goal real quick. Let me look at them. Never mind. They both suck. No, actually, I kind of want to do it. Um, I feel like me and Gorlin are kindred spirits. Uh,
oh,
it's two Gorr, two
we
R's.
We clicked.
Yeah, he gets it. And that's why I will never give up on Gorrlin.
Never give up on Gorrlin.
Never gonna let him down.
Right. Do you have... Is there a reason that others might give up on him?
I mean, look at him.
That's a good point.
He ugly.
I think I'm very ugly. I think, well, apart from me being ugly, like I look like Saturday. I have that monster feel to me.
Yeah, we're like, we're those D&D monsters that adventurers just kill on sight.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
I do.
we
I know
get
what
it.
that's about.
Yeah, we're on the same page here.
Like if you were not carrying weapons, people would think we're being escorted by these guys behind us.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Escort out of town kind of deal.
So, okay, roll to aid, Chuck.
No, I don't want to.
All right, mark some XP.
See, that's why I did this, right? Like,
Yeah, it's working.
Okay,
Man.
that's good. That's good.
poor David is gonna hot drop into this and be so confused when there's just a flaming caravan and dragons everywhere.
You're both hanging off the side. Louis eating a person's magical club.
Louis just he's have like a hand with a club. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah, so the caravan guy, he looks a little worried, actually, when you're like, look at us, and you do look tough and scary, like you're scaring the shit out of him. Yeah, why don't you
roll as well?
Yeah, because that was for him to aid you. So now you're gonna roll plus charisma to parlay with this guy.
Nice. Naked roll.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna want some proof, which means he says, well, to be honest, fella, chaps like you riding along with us usually draws more attention, but I suppose if you and your friends will ride lookout, will scout for danger, if you take an active part in the caravan, you could more or less earn or pay your way.
That's just the kind of thing I like doing.
See, I knew we was gonna get along.
Yes. Blessed be the divine.
He says, well put. Yeah, they clear out a wagon, they consolidate a bunch of gear, and they even agree to put Louis inside of a wagon. I mean, they're being pulled by oxen and stuff, which are not very fast, but they're still faster than an alligator over the open ground all day. Right? Alligators aren't really endurance runners. They're more sprinters, right? You get Louis shoved inside of the back of one of these wagons. He basically takes up the whole thing, and he just kind of, Louis his time back there. And you guys find a place to sit, and the two Arctons ride on the side of the caravan, right? They're basically flanking it. They know the score.
That's good, yes. This is a very nice alligator.
Yeah, and I guess, when you say that, I turn to Louis. Justin, I'm using my move. What's it called? Wild empathy. That lets me actually speak to animals.
Okay.
Hey, now Louis, the wolf-looking man, he says you a nice alligator.
Um,
Man, I need a legend or subtitles.
yeah. I don't know. What does Louis say back?
I don't know.
Is Louis happy about that?
I feel like Louis doesn't actually like speak back like ever.
No.
The silent type.
He just sort of grunts and mumbles something about a chewed up piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's him being flattered.
Yeah, that's high praise.
So you guys, you guys ride south, I think, for a couple of days, along with the caravan, and it's mostly quiet. And you come to Hikerton. Hikerton has some notable trade. It's actually claimed by Latveria. They're under their protection or whatever. So it's a little more rigid around here. People aren't nearly as warm or welcoming. And matter of fact, they kind of look at you four at an askance. And they seem distrustful of outsiders. If you don't stay in kind of the outsider areas, right? The visitors' inns and the markets, basically, where you're supposed to trade your wares. And but they have here that's most notable is they have a blacksmith. A number of blacksmiths. They trade in weapons, right? They have minerals and ores shipped in, and they make fine weaponry. And that's something that's being traded right now. I think you're in Hikerton for about a day.
I'm gonna discern realities here, cause weapons my deal, and if I want to like start expanding the business, or maybe raiding some caravans, I need to know what's the heat people are packing.
Okay, how are you discerning realities? Are you
Like are we just passing by, or are we actually staying here for like the night or something?
It's not even the night. It's a full day that you're there.
Okay, yeah. Like I'm just look at all the wares, ask around the smiths about like the latest technique. How did you make this edge? Are you putting acid on it to give this shimmer? Like I give my opinion as well. No, that's too oxidized, man. Like, how can you sell something so oxidized? You might as well refurge it. Sometimes, when it's very bad. Like a very short knife.
Okay. And Chuck, what are you doing for the day while you're in Hikerton?
Probably getting into trouble. Chuck's not a touristy sort, right? So
Yeah.
I think like once we check in at the inn or whatever, I ain't got no use for the markets there. So I'm gonna go look around the residential side of town. Louis getting now my gator Louis here. He a bit peckish, and maybe we can find us one of them the rat terriers. He likes them.
A rat terrier.
Yeah, I'm gonna find somebody's pet and feed it to Louis. That's what I want to do.
Okay. Does Louis have the skill for hunting critters?
He has hunt, like as an unspecified thing, because
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so both of you are going to roll plus wisdom.
Okay.
And you can add Louis' cunning, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. Hold up. I got stuff about this somewhere, right? Okay. Here it is.
Yeah. It's basically tracking.
Yeah, when you track at it's cunning, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you get his cunning for sure.
So that's a 7. Thanks, Louis.
Thanks, Lou. Oh my god.
Best bet ever.
We're going to start with Gorrlin. Well, Gorrlin, you get to ask one question.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so I'm inquiring about like weapons and stuff. So, what here is useful, valuable to me? Like, what are people carrying, packing, selling the most? Ask around. Give my unwanted opinion.
What is useful or valuable to you? Well, you find all kinds of, like, priceless wares. Not priceless, but very fine, like mastercraft wares. And you're talking with some people about this or that, and you actually one of the people at the caravan comes up to you. It's not the like driver, the head guy or whatever. Someone comes and tugs on your fur.
Justin, how dare you? I don't have fur anymore.
I'm sorry, your
How
fuzz.
dare you?
Your fuzz. They tug on your fuzz that's growing back. And yeah, and they say, excuse me, Mr. Gorrlin, Mr. Gorrlin, there's a problem. There's a problem.
There is always problem, child. What is it?
There are people at the caravan. They're angry.
Traders are always angry.
What?
Are they angry with anything specific?
They say they're saying something's been stolen. They're saying something's been taken.
Probably. It's a caravan full of thieves. No offense. Okay. Do they suspect me or the foreign folk that came with me, or the half orc or the full orc? I don't know exactly. They all smell the same.
They're just yelling. They haven't been specific. All of your friends are gone. We need your help. There's a lot of them.
Yes. Let's solve this problem. And I give a tap of my hammer in my hand, and I go after them. Or him.
Yeah. So you come back to the wagon. And there are like 3 or 4 you've seen them maybe around, market vendors of some kind. Maybe a blacksmith or two, like in a big like apron type thing. And they're yelling up at the driver, basically. And he's standing up and he's yelling back at them. and they're like holding on to like the reins of the oxen and stuff. And at one point he like yells down at them, like holding his big whip, right? And one of them like reaches up and grabs it, and there's starting to be kind of a tussle starting up as you're drawing near. What do you do?
I get in close and I say, what is happening here?
Okay.
And I stand like a little bit back. I'm more curious than anything.
Okay. Roll plus charisma.
Nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ooh, on a naked roll.
Yeah, you just say what's happening here, kind of nonchalant, but it does break up the scene. And the driver's head snaps up at you, and some other people snap over and see you. And this dude who is grabbing the whip sees everyone looking around and looks over, and then like looks sort of worried as you're just standing there, looking sort of menacing with your hammer in your hand. And the driver standing up there, he says, "Yeah, go on, tell him what you think." And they're all sort of like dumbfounded for a second. And he says, "They think that we've stolen things."
I look like very suspicious. What are you accusing us of stealing? Or, I mean him. What are you accusing them of stealing? Weapons, jewels, food, chickens.
So the guy in like the blacksmith's robe, he says, I'd, and he kind of looking around, and other people are like, you tell him, get him, go. And he says, I had made half a dozen blades. I had just finished them. They were fine swords. They cost me an awful lot of money for the material. And anyway, they've disappeared ever since, right as you people came into town. And now they're gone. I left my shop
unattended.
He says, unattended. It's an open market. People keep an eye out for one another usually.
I see. I get close to him. Like, I put my hammer in my back and like I try to sheath it in any way, like to make people a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, I'm gonna help you this time. But what are you gonna do for me if we catch this thief? Apart from making me feel good for my good, kindly action.
He says, well, I think I could find something to reward you with. He says, if you find the swords, I'll let you keep one for free.
I give him a look. I'm a blacksmith too.
Yeah.
If you try to shorthand me, you gonna be short of a hand.
Yeah, he just sort of gulps, right, at that.
Okay. What kind of sword? Long sword, short sword, broadsword, army sword? Be specific. Be specific.
What kind of sword?
I gave a few options. Come on, man. Maybe a rapier. Maybe it's even a fucking rapier, man.
It's not a rapier.
Maybe a falchion, like there's no hilt or anything, just a blade.
No, it's they're short swords. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
or yeah, like a one-handed sword, like an arming sword or something like that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Not like a gladius or whatever.
I pointed I pointed him. Look, this is gonna be very humiliating for these people. These people that come to trade with you, yes? But I'm gonna look at their stuff. And I go towards the caravan and I'm like start opening bags. I say, bring me one of your swords for me to compare.
Okay. Um, yeah, sure. He brings you one that he's working on now, right? And you like tear the caravan apart, um, turning everything over, looking through everything they've got. Um, roll charisma again.
Ooh, 3.
So, okay. So the driver, um, as you start like searching through everything, he's looking like huffing and stuff before you notice, right? Um, and and eventually you start like now you're opening this thing and you go through a whole wagon and then you go to the next wagon comparing everything they've got meticulously and he finally like loses his temper, right? And he comes walking over, walking like over the wagons like toward you, and he says, hell of a lot of good you've turned out to be. Now you're investigating me. You're supposed to be protecting us.
I look up at him. Like I have like two swords in my hand. I'm comparing them. I look up. I say, yes, I am. Do you know who I am? Do you know what authority I have? I have the authority of the divine.
Yeah, he just says, bah, we're not anywhere near your authority, whatever it is.
Like I put both swords down. I stand up in front of him. Like the rotten smell that I of my breath like going on his face, like steaming his face. Like it's probably like creating condensation in his forehead as it trickles down.
Yeah.
And I say, "You want to test my authority?"
um, yeah.
I put yeah,
He starts to take a couple steps back and he says, oh, now threatening. Now threatening is what it is. Um,
and I say, "If you are not guilty, you have nothing to fear. And if you are not guilty, you have my blessing." And I give him a stupid blink, like, hmm,
um,
very silly, very silly.
so he's like seething and frothing, right? And he's about to say something else, right? He's
Mhm.
about to give you the business or whatever. Um, but as he is, that partisan, right? Ping, bangs on the side of the wagon to break him up, and he like starts, and Philmont is there. Um, he's ridden up through the crowd. He's still on his horse, and yeah, he says we may know something.
I get like the blade that's like the original one that's not finished. I hold it by the hilt, like by the pommel, like non-threateningly, and
Yeah,
I lean close to him. "Oh, what may you know?"
and he says we may know something.
Hmm.
Um,
Good, good. I like
so he like sits up straight in his
your
saddle.
attitude.
He sits up straight in his saddle, right? And his hand goes to his side, and it starts. He starts like uh, fiddling with his gold pouch, right? And he says, "We may."
Hmm. Say, just the type. You are just the type. Look, an innocent person might be in trouble. We might be lynched. You know the drill. It's not your first time out of hometown.
Yeah. Uh,
I hope your magic club works, because if you don't spill it out, we are part of the caravan.
okay. Let's roll plus loyalty for Philmont.
Okay? So it's gonna be like a charisma roll because it's 0.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. He says. He says, "I'm not trying to hide anything, and to be fair, we know what it's worth for you to find the swords."
It's true. It's true. I'm a very nice guy. I look around a bit like dodgily. Uh, yes. What do you know? You know a lot. I look a little bit surprised.
Um, so, yeah, he says, "What's it going to be worth for me to help you find it?"
Hmm. Well, more glory for the divine. For one, you unfaithful dog.
Yeah, he like leans over and like,
I knew it. Godless. Uh, well, I have no money,
and he says, "Well,
but I will owe you one. This counts for something. I'm not some nameless dog. I'm Gorrlin of Sistane.
and
When
he's
I say I'm not some dog, like I look like a hyena, it's kind of like
so he says, well, I can tell you it's not in the caravans."
I see. You're trying to bide your time, huh?
He says,
You,
"No, it's worth a sword if you could find it. If you think you can, very well."
a sword. All this for a sword. Unbelievable.
He shrugs.
Sure, sure. Yes, yes, you can have. Wait a second. Tell me, tell me. I can give you many swords once I go to my forge. This is no problem.
And he says,
Okay, I give you a sword. I give you the bloody sword.
yeah, he was already turning to the blacksmith to say, like, well, if I find it, can I have the sword, kind of thing. And he says, okay. Um, and he, like, brings the horse up next to the wagon, right? And he says, hop on.
Really?
And he says, really?
Mm. Fantastic. Somebody's not getting a commission.
All right.
Shrewd barbarian.
So you get on his horse and ride off?
Yeah. I say, I give like a pat on the side of the caravan master, and I say everything will be solved. Anybody touches the caravan master, I eat it.
Everybody takes 4 steps away from the caravan master. And
I give the half sword to the blacksmith and I say this will be solved. And I jump on the horse and I say I hate horses.
so he like sort of rudely pushes the horse through, and people just kind of like jump out of the way. Okay, Chuck. So Louis gets a scent of something he wants. And he starts chasing it. I think he goes a little bit wild. He's been cramped up in a wagon for a few days and hasn't gotten to properly hunt anything. I mean, there's no rivers or anything around here. There's everything you can eat is either too small or too fast to catch.
Yeah, you're right.
And he starts leading you outside of town.
Okay.
So let's have you roll. So you lose sight of him, I think, at some point, as he's running outside of town, and people are screaming, terrified of a giant lizard beast running through the streets as they go diving this way and that, and he starts running on the road, off the road, outside of town.
Yeah.
So let's have you roll your tracking to keep up with Louis and find out where he goes, as you lose sight of him.
Damn it, Louis. All right.
So
We follow his trail until there's a significant change in his direction or mode of travel. He flies, Justin.
he takes off and he flies in the sky. Louis has become the butterfly he is always meant to be. So you're chasing him down when you discover he heads out into some grass, I think, actually.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys. So it's kind of grassland outside of this town, I think. Largely. But let's fill in some terrain while we're at this.
Oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to know if players can do it. I tried and I couldn't.
Say again?
I wanted to know if players could do it. I tried doing it as a player and it was not possible.
They cannot. Yeah. Well, we'll do that later. Actually, I wanna stick with Louis. So Louis is running through these grasses outside of town, and he actually finds like a little creek that runs by the town. And where his tracks change is he apparently like dives into this creek and goes running up it at some point. And the creek actually goes forward, and then there's like a little like ditch, and you're running up this creek trying to catch him. You can see where the grass has been all ripped up and carved a path out in the shape of his generous belly. What it does is it goes down to like a ravine, and you hop down into this ravine looking around for where he went, because the creek doesn't stream anywhere else that you can see, except you see where there were some branches in front of this hole. And he went charging through them, and they tore apart around him and then like fell back into place. But you get closer to them and you can see that what he did, he ran underground somewhere. in this hole. I mean, you can see. I'm not somewhere. You can see the hole where he went underground.
Yeah, yeah. Like, how can I follow him?
Sure.
Yeah. I'll do like I don't know how the fuck an alligator call sounds. But I'll do my best alligator call.
I think it's just woo wee.
Yeah, Louis. And I'll go like digging around trying to root my gator out.
He's trying to call out to Louis.
The call of the wild.
What in the hell roll is that? I mean, I think that's wisdom still. This is still you dealing with your alligator. You're still kind of tracking, right? But this time he is interfering with you, right? He is
fucking Louis.
Yeah, so you're gonna add his you're gonna subtract his instinct from your roll.
Yeah. Fucker. Well, eat it, Louis. 11.
All right, good news. You find Louis just as he swallows the child.
Wait, really?
No.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Looking so good.
Yeah, it would.
Just shrug and be like, "We ain't gonna tell nobody about this, Louis."
Now I had somebody to pin down this stolen sword, man. It was a child. Don't worry, it's not a problem anymore.
Okay, so you're moving through this hole in the ground, and it's kind of muddy.
Kind of swampy.
Kind of muddy. And it starts to seem sort of weird to you that this hole goes so far and so deep. This isn't like naturally occurring. This is like dug out.
Yeah.
And with those sticks in the way, like some of that starts to dawn on you. This is some kind of like stash or hideout or something.
Okay.
And as you come in close, you come into a sort of small room that's been dug out.
Yeah.
Underground, and there are two guys. So there's one guy up against the wall, right, with his back to the wall, looking at Louis, who has just bitten on one of these, on another guy, and sort of like tossed him. And the dude is lying on the ground. He didn't rip his leg off, but there is like it's sort of bloody and stuff.
Yeah.
And Louis just like gives out a big hiss at them. But one of his eyes like does see you for a second. As you come running in, like sort of, what do you do?
I mean, are these dudes like armed? Like, are they just?
Yeah. They look sort of like bandits, I guess. Ruffians of some sort.
Yeah.
You know, they've got bandanas around their necks.
They're that kind of guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Bandit thug type looking dudes. Gotcha.
Yeah, and the one, there's like I think you see a little like scrape down Louis' side where this guy tried to like gash him, right? It didn't pierce his skin, but it made him drop him instead of just eat him right there. And you saw the dagger like clink to the ground under a table. And the other one's got his dagger in his hand, but he's, it's a 15-foot crocodile and it's a dagger, so he's not feeling real confident about his chances.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll like crawl into the room and be like, "Hoo-wee, y'all don't look like you was in a bit of a spot."
Yeah, and they say, "Hey, look, whatever you want, help us, man, kill that thing."
Now, supposing old Chuck was to help y'all. Now, what what exactly is in it here for Chuck? Cause the way I sees it, ain't no do-gooding, hard-working citizens run around digging holes in the ground, hiding them and shit in the bushes and wearing bandanas on their faces. So like, who you is? What you doing?
Who you is? He says, we can pay you. We can pay you on the table. On the table. We can pay you.
What's on the table?
Right on the table there is. Well, what you see on the table is a like cloth, and it's draped over top of something. It's long, long-ish, right? And it's sort of draped over the top of it, sort of lumpy.
Okay, so this guy who's been like bitten and dropped, is he like what kind of shape is he in?
He looks like he's sort of in shock.
Okay.
He's holding his leg, and it is bleeding some. Maybe it's broken. You know, he's not standing up. But he's more in shock of the alligator still like a few inches from him.
Yeah, no, I think I can empathize.
And every time he starts to like try to move or shift, like Louis gives out another hiss and starts to step forward.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I guess I want to walk over and like pull the cloth up or whatever. I want to see what's on the table.
Yeah, you reach over and you pull the cloth, and yeah, there are half a dozen swords sitting there in front of you.
Huh. Well, now, why is it then that you's over here on sitting up on the wall looking all scared of this here lizard monster thing with that little bitty frog sticker when you could have one of these big old frog stickers?
And he's
seems to me that you made a tactical miscalculation.
He's pressed up against the wall, and he says, "Look, man, you can have one. They're worth a lot of money. Okay, you help us out. You can have half of them. You could have them all. You can have them all. Look, man, it's just you know what's going on."
Yeah, y'all gonna get eaten by this here scaly thing unless I save your lives.
He says, "Look, we can help. We can help you out. We can help you. We've got more.
Well, now hold on here. I'm not the one in the position where I need the helping. And like as we're having this conversation, I'm just like putting the swords in my bag, like.
Okay, so you're gonna parlay.
I'm not really interested in parlaying with them. I kind of just want to take the swords and let my alligator kill them.
Are you interested in the more they have to offer?
Yeah, I am interested in the more. That's yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like you were using leverage.
Yeah, fair enough.
That
point.
The leverage being that you have an alligator that's going to eat them. So I don't think he's interfering with you anymore. I think he's helping. But I don't. You can't really use any of his stats for charisma rolls. It's just that he's not hurting you anymore. So yeah, let's parlay with him. Roll plus charisma.
Yeah, I'm real good at that one. Good at getting XP with that one. This is what I'm good at.
Yeah.
I'm getting. I got 4 XP this session so far.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he says, actually, he doesn't get a chance to say anything. So, it's about that time. It's not Louis. Louis
okay.
standing there cool as a cucumber. He's just fucking with him, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like you can understand Louis, right? And what he's doing right now is like chuckling, like look worse than the chewed up dog. And that's my Louis. That's my Louis.
No, I like it.
So before he gets a chance to respond, he gets an arrow. No, is it an arrow? It's not an arrow. It's not an arrow. You hear this blast.
God damn it.
Pow! And there's smoke in the room, and you go deaf for a second. And it just like this banging sound reverberates in your ears. Louis freaks the fuck out. And he's all like, well, damn, that's scary. And he goes ducking behind some. And then you hear pa, and then pa again. And by the time, and there's all this smoke, and I think you like drop the swords that you were grabbing them, like your ears feel like they're bleeding. And through the smoke, you see Bamin and Philmont and Gorrlin come into the room. And we look over, and the two guys are their heads blown open by musket fire.
Well, goddamn, y'all done did ruin my interrogation. Now, how's we supposed to find all the other shit that these two yahoos done did steal when they heads split open like a goblin?